my name's Shelby. I'm going to be your student physical therapist for the day. Today we're just going to be doing some manual muscle testing, so I'm going to be applying some pressure to your legs, see how strong you are. Is that okay? Yeah. All right, so I'm going to have you first brace behind you. All right, we're going to start with our hip flexion. So I'm going to have you bring your knee up to your chest and back down. Very nice. All right, so I'm going to bring it up just a little bit. I'm going to hold here at your shoulder and hold. All right. Your left side now. All right. And then bring it up just a little bit. All right, hold. All right, now some extension. So I'm gonna grab underneath your knee here, okay? So I'm gonna bring your leg up just a little bit. Don't let me bring it up anymore, okay? Nice. All right, same with this side. All right, hold. All right. From here, don't let me push your knees into each other, okay? All right. And then close your legs. All right, and don't let me separate them. All right. Next, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna have you bring your right ankle to your left shin. Okay, hold that there. All right, now we're gonna do the same with this side. All right, hold. Okay, and now we're gonna take our heels and we're gonna turn it out. So we're gonna start with this leg. Nice, just like that. All right, now this leg. All right, next we're gonna do our knee flexion and extension. So I'm gonna have you extend those legs out and then bring them back. All right, so I'm gonna apply pressure, okay? Don't move your leg. Okay, this leg. All right, now we're gonna start with this leg. I'm gonna have you extend that leg out for me. Bend it just a little bit. All right, hold. All right, this leg. Hold. All right. Now I'm gonna have you point your toes to the floor. All right, don't let me bring them up to the sky. All right, now we're gonna point our toes to the sky. Don't let me bring those toes down. Bring those toes up. All right, don't let me push it down. All right. Now, I'm gonna have you bring your toes in towards each other. Okay, hold. Hold. All right, pinkies out. Hold. Hold. All right. Now I'm going to have you curl your toes underneath your feet. And don't let me uncurl them, okay? All right. Now I'm going to have you take your toes and spread them out as far as you can. Don't let me push your toes down. All right, keep them spread out and don't let me bring them together. There we go. All right, spread these ones out. There we go.
This patient was able to withstand moderate to maximal pressure for all of her muscles except for her right hip flexors, which were a grade of 3-, and her left dorsiflexors, which were a grade of 2.
Now what we're going to be doing is some specific manual muscle tests for some of your muscles. All right, so we're going to start with your hip flexion. All right, so I'm going to have you bring that leg up, back down, and then up again. All right, hold. All right.
This patient's right hip flexors are a grade of 3.
Now we're going to do your knee extension. All right, so I'm going to have you extend this knee out for me. All right, bend it just a little bit. All right, and hold. All right.
This patient's knee extensors were able to resist maximal pressure, therefore getting a grade of 5.
And then we're going to do dorsiflexion of this foot. So I'm going to have you, of this foot. So I'm going to have you bring your foot up as far as you can. All right. And then so hold. So we're gonna have you do up one more time. All right. And then relax. And I'm just gonna do it just real quick. All right.
Since the patient is only able to complete partial range of motion, they receive a grade of 2.
That one was like, all right, so we're gonna be taking some range of motion measurements. So this is a goniometer, all right? It's just to put it against your leg and move it to see how much motion you have in your ankle, okay?
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna be feeling for a few bony landmarks. Is that okay?
Yep.
All right, so the fulcrum for our dorsiflexion and plantar flexion is gonna be our lateral malleolus right here, all right? And then our proximal arm is going to be up the lateral side of the midline of the fibula. And then, so I'm going to palpate up here for the fibular head. Okay, there's that. Fibular head. And then our distal arm is going to be parallel to the 5th metatarsal over here. All right, so we have to start off in, first I'm going to have you do the motions. So I'm going to have you bring your foot up and bring it down and then bring it back to neutral for me. All right. Okay, so now I'm going to repalpate and make sure we're all in the right place. All right, and then we're going to get this foot to neutral. So I'm going to prep that there to neutral. All right. So now I'm going to have you put your toes to the floor, okay? So we're starting off at 0. All right, so I point your toes to the floor as far as you can go, okay? All right, don't curl those toes for me. Keep them straight. All right, you can relax. So we have 58 degrees of plantar flexion, all right?
Normal range of motion for plantar flexion is 0 to 45 degrees. Since this patient is 58 degrees of plantar flexion, they are hypermobile.
So now we're going to do dorsiflexion, but I'm going to do it passively. Okay, so we're going to have the same landmarks, so our lateral malleolus, the midline of our fibula, and then our parallel to our 5th metatarsal, okay? So this time I'm going to bring your foot up, passively move it up into 90 degrees. All right, and make sure we have our right alignments. All right, and so I'm going to passively dorsiflex you, and we get 5 degrees of
Normal range of dorsiflexion is 0 to 20 degrees. This patient has 5 degrees, so she is within normal range.
dorsiflexion passively. So you got it? All right, so now we're going to be taking your passive range of motion for your hip, okay? I'm going to use a bigger goniometer this time. I'm going to feel for a few landmarks. That does involve me bringing your shorts up just a little bit. Is that okay? Yeah. All right. So first I'm going to feel for our fulcrum, which is your greater trochanter. So I'm going to rest this right here. Place my hand. I'm going to internally and externally rotate your leg. All right. I'm just going to bring it up just a little bit. Thank you. All right. Here's your greater trochanter. All right. And then it's the lateral midline of your trunk, okay? And then our distal arm is our lateral midline of our femur, okay? So you are in 0 degrees of hip flexion at this moment. All right. So I'm gonna have you bend your knee up to your chest as far as you can go, and then back down. All right. All right. So now I'm gonna do this passively. So I'm gonna keep our attachments here. So I'm gonna have you bend your knee here. Very nice. You can bend your whole knee. There you go. Out. All right. And then I'm gonna bend your knee towards your chest. All right. Making sure we keep our lateral midline. All right. And push down. All right. If I go too far,
let me know if I cause you any pain, okay?
Okay.
All right. So we have gotten a total of, go ahead and relax. We have gotten a total of 116 degrees of hip flexion. All right. The normal range for hip flexion is 0 to 120 degrees. Since this patient has 116 degrees, they are within normal range. Very nice. So now I'm going to have you flip over onto your stomach. All right. And we are going to do our hip extension, okay? So for that, we have the same fulcrum and distal and proximal arms. All right. So I'm going to feel for that greater trochanter again. I'm going to move your shorts up just a little bit. Is that okay? All right. All right. So our greater trochanter here. All right. And then we start off in condyles. Midline of trunk. We are starting off in 10 degrees, or 5 degrees. All right, so I'm gonna have you lift your leg up as high as you can go without bringing that hip off the bed. All right, keep it there for me for 1 minute. All right, and then we end up with 15 degrees of extension. The normal range of hip extension is 0 to 20 degrees. Since this patient has 15 degrees, they are within normal range. Go ahead and relax. All right, so now I'm going to be doing a muscle length test for your rectus femoris. All right, so our fulcrum is going to be our lateral epicondyle. All right, and then we are going to have the proximal arm be the lateral side of our femur, and then our distal arm is our lateral side of our fibula. All right. So now we're gonna be looking for a hip hike in this leg. So I'm gonna be bending your leg, seeing if we hit a hip hike. And I don't see a hip hike. So I want to measure our angle just in case. Just to see how far we've gotten here. Alright. We have gotten 113. We're going to relax and we're going to do it one more time. Just to see.
You're doing straight leg raise and then the distal.
And relax this leg for me. Thank you. No, we don't have a hip hike on this side. Alright. Since the patient does not display a hip hike, they are negative for this test. A little more this time. Alright, so now we're going to be doing the Thomas test, okay? This is to test our rectus femoris and our hip flexor, alright? So I'm going to help support you down. So we're going to lay back down on the table. I'm going to have you bring both of your knees up to your chest. I'm going to have you hold them. And then I'm going to eventually have you release your left leg, okay? So I can do some measurements, alright? Ready? Mm-hmm. Alright. Bring those knees up. Alright, hold those knees to your chest. Alright, and I'm going to have you let go of this left side for me.
For the foot.
Alright.
I love you, Terry. What's it called? Bond?
Alright. So, as you can see here, she's in more than 10 degrees of hip extension. Actually, comparing my actual measurements to my visual, you're in a good amount of, you're in 0 of, you're in 5 of hip extension. but your knee over here is a little bit more than 90 degrees, okay? So since it's more than 90 degrees, I'm gonna have you bring your knee up. I'm gonna extend this leg, okay? And then we're just gonna slowly lower you down to see if our hip angle changes. Keeping this knee straight for us. It looks pretty about the same. Just gonna double check really quick.
So you were looking for the whole section? I guess that's where I'm confused.
All right, keep those legs straight for me.
2 through 4, please.
All right. It increases our extension just a little bit. All right, so go ahead and relax now. All right, you can relax both your legs. Through both positions of the leg for the Thomas test, it is seen that the patient tests positive for tightness in the rectus femoris. All right, stop there.
Hi, I'm Reagan Crowley, and I approve this message.